Okay, now that you have completed the exterior construction by wrapping around your leather, you might find that the areas at the corners have a bit more bulk than what you want. You can actually take a rubber mallet and just tap them down gently and tap along the whole edge as well to give a nice crisp line so that you can sew against. So basically what we want to do at this point is we want to transfer some markings. These lines that have been drawn in the prep area are to identify where your false stitch is going to be. Now a false stitch is basically a stitch that's going to go from this point to that point, just right in this area here, 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Eventually, when we add our zipper, we are going to continue from that point all the way around, attaching the zipper. So in a sense, it makes it look like it's a continuous stitch completely around the outside of your wallet. This also secures this area that you have glued down so that it doesn't peel back later on. So what we want to do is we want to transfer these markings. So this mark to here and this mark to here need to be placed here and here. Now I use a Tandy silver pen because it can be removed very easily on vinyl and regular leather. If you're using fabric, you can use an invisible marker that will disappear, a disappearing marker. But basically you can barely see the marks. I have made them. They are right here and right here. So what you want to do is you want to place two marks, one here, one over here, and one over here, exactly opposite the area of those lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the sewing machine and we are going to stitch those lines. Now we're not going to back stitch when we start, and we're not going to back stitch when we finish. We want to leave a longer tail so that we can tie off on the inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to that machine and we're going to do our stitching. Okay, so we're going to now do our false stitch on the sides of our exterior of our zip around wallet. But before we do, I just want to let you know I am using my cylinder industrial sewing machine by Texsew 2700 Pro. I love this machine and I'll be using it in all of the videos. I have a 1/8 of an inch edge foot on this machine, which really helps me guide 1/8 of an inch in from the outside edge. First of all, you want to start yourself with a long tail. You're going to bring your side of your wallet between your marks. You're going to place that into the machine. You're going to then put the needle in the down position and make sure you are 1/8 of an inch from the exterior to the stitch line. You're going to go ahead and you're not going to back stitch at the beginning or at the end, and you're going to stitch between the two lines marks that you had made. You're going to see, there's your stitching. Now you're going to give yourself another long tail because you want to tie off. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to do the other side, same as you did the first side. So you're going to place the needle in the down position through the first line mark, and you're going to start stitching 1/8 of an inch from the outside edge. And then you're going to give yourself a nice long tail once again, snip it, and now we're going to go back to the table and I'll show you the next step. So I've gone ahead and pulled the front thread to the back on 3 of the threads. I've left this one to show you how to do this, and I've already tied the knots off as well. So when you pull the front thread to the back, what you do is just tug a little bit on the back thread and it will bring a loop from the front thread back, and then you just draw that back so that you have 2 threads to the back side. Now you want to tie off each of these threads with a few knots. Now I'm using nylon thread, 69 bonded, and basically you want to make sure that you've got a nice taut knot in all 4 threads. Now what I like to do is to take these threads, group them like so, and tie another knot into the center so that it secures all of the threads together. And I put more than one knot So it looks like that. So what we're going to do now is, you've probably noticed that I actually have shipping tape listed on the supply list. So what you need to do is you need to trim off these long threads, and you're going to take a piece of shipping tape. This is shipping tape and it's shiny, and you're going to place that right across the center of the wallet, and that's going to hold all of those threads in place, and it's also going to give you a slippery surface when you go to feed your zipper in from the outside when you're feeding it between the two layers. So it's nice and easy, and makes it not get caught, the zipper not get caught onto the craft text. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay that down like so, from the edge to the opposite edge, and you're just going to smooth that. And what you're doing is you're securing the threads in place and giving you a nice surface that your zipper can slide into. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to mark for our zipper.